Okay, let's mix up some mud. Got one of these electric mixers. This one's a Ryobi from Home Depot. They're a lot more than they used to be, but they're just a couple $100. This thing makes your money back in like the first job. They're really good. They last quite a long time. I've gone through quite a few, maybe 4 or 5 over the years, but it takes a lot of use to work through them. I'm a professional contractor, commercial grade stuff, but not, huge Disneyland theme parks, but, private property, private residence mostly. And this thing does me great. And I can pick it apart, take it apart, pick it up, put it in my minivan to carry it around. So Ryobi or any one of these portable electric mixers are just pretty awesome. So, got my water hooked up and try not to get hooked on the back there. Like these steel nozzles are better. Plus again, you got the on-off valve right here. So you can turn this off, change the nozzle, put it on a power washer, change it back out. So we will get this thing started and make some mud. Start off with your water. You get it in there, get the whole drum wet. That's a good idea. 3 bags, takes quite a bit of water, so we're not going to be shy on the water. When you're mixing concrete, it's a lot of weight. I used to get the 90 pounders and not anymore because I'm 65 and I decided I don't need to be a hero anymore. There's a nice breeze blowing through pretty good. If it's really bad, I'll get the mask thing going on, but I also hold my breath. But definitely wear a mask. Like right now, I'm going to get ready to hold my breath here. And I walk upwind, take a breath, let it spin a little, and then come back, hold my breath again. A lot of water going on, that's okay. Get another bag. 60 pounders again, 4,000 PSI, high strength concrete mix, manufactured by Quikrete. Whole lot of different guys out there, different companies I mean. So you just pick and choose what you feel the best is the best. Keep the back arched. Now I breathe. Let it spin a little. It needs water. So and also when you get the water on it, it cuts down on the dust, the spray. The thing to remember when you're spraying water in, you want to aim right up here. The way the barrel's spinning, you want to rinse it off the side. So I start right about here, and then I move the angle of the spray back to the back, and then up over the middle. That helps get it off the back of the mixer. Since you got another bag coming, it's okay to get it all sloppy. Very watery in there. And so that's a good thing. Give myself a little bit more hose. That'll stay pretty good. Keep your knees bent and your back curved. You don't want to lift this way. You always want to have your back curved and use your legs. If you don't, your back will not be happy. And when our backs aren't happy, we're not happy either. I was blessed to have a pretty good, strong back from my dad, who was an athlete, big bear of a man. You can see a little of him in my tribute Father's Day video I made. He actually beat Jim Brown, that famous athlete and football star, in track and field in high school. So my dad was very, very gifted that way in the athletic department. He died last September, and so miss him, but we kind of had an agreement that whoever gets to heaven first is going to scope out the scene and check out the best hangout spots. And so I'll see him again. No doubt at all. All right, getting back to our mixing. I'm paying attention to how this is mixing and how this stuff is tumbling and behaving. It doesn't take long to get a little bit of practice. You figure out right away if it's too wet, it goes red. It slides out like an avalanche when it's too wet. So you just want to keep an eye on it. And if it starts doing this, bogging and kind of clomping and plopping, that's not bad. That's getting closer to the stiffer mix you want when you're doing any kind of structural coat mix as you're going up. This is just pure concrete, no acrylic admix. If ever I'm adding concrete to old concrete, I add acrylic admix to it, and I use the Sika brand from Home Depot. So it's like 18, 19 bucks for a gallon. And a mix this size, I might put like, count 10, 12 seconds off as I'm pouring it in. So this is looking pretty good. I can see how it's rolling off the back of that. So I'm going to leave it at that thickness, and we'll see how it is. To get the wheelbarrow here. Oh, I got to run down and get the wheelbarrow. All right, that's good to let it stir a little bit. The wheelbarrow, you want to back it in. I'm going to put the hose up and out of where it was, because I want to be able to get the wheelbarrow out of there easily. And so that goes there. So, slide it all the way back till it hits. And then you want the wheelbarrow to have a good mist on it. And that means it's not going to, it will be easier to clean, let's put it that way. All right. So let's give it a pitch. On these things, they've got a little pin here you have to pull out, otherwise it won't pitch up, but it's nice for moving it. You can snap that little peg in there. It's easier to move. So hold the mixer up a little bit, and if you keep it this way for 10, 20 seconds, it scrapes the back side of the mixer off, and then therefore you get more of your mix out. Tip it over, and I keep it running, and I give it a couple flings like that. And I turn it off, and I take a look in here, and yeah, it looks good. If there's big clumps still on things, I'll wipe them off, and everything is pretty good. And as you're learning, you'll get stuff stuck in the back, and that's okay. Once I get this basically cleaned up with my hand here, and I keep my arm kind of straight, and I lean in and just stretch it out, right? Now I can step behind it and move where I need to go. Before you take the mud anywhere, you want to rinse it. A lot of times when I have new working guys helping me out, they kind of walk away, and next thing you know, the mixer's been sitting and all this stuff is purity attached to it. I like to just go all the way around, hit the mixing paddles of the thing from both sides. And I don't know why, but I like to spin it a half of a revolution and then hit the paddles again. All this stuff you can bang with a hammer on the outside, not the drum, but you can hit these screws that hold the paddles in, and that helps out a lot. Oops, with keeping it all cleaned up. All right, so we're gonna move this on down the hill. All right, kind of wiggle it to the front wheel since it's a single wheel. Then off we go.